Georgia, Greensboro, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, Chicago, Tampa, Florida, Miami, Dallas, Texas. I don't care where the city is.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to the debut edition of the Weekly Pro Wrestling Rush. I'm your host, Jeff Jaros, along here with Stephen Lane. Say what's up, Stephen.
What's going on?
And Matt Shadis, along with me too. We're all going to be giving our insights from here on out here on the Weekly Pro Wrestling Rush to everybody who happens to hear it here on YouTube. We're going to start uploading at least one video a week on what's going on in the world of pro wrestling, according to us. We hear a lot of people's opinions out there, and we're big fans ourselves, and all three of us probably can say we've been fans pretty much our whole life since we were kids. I'm sure we'll get into more stuff about our personal lives later on, but we're not really here to do that. We're here to talk about wrestling. And the show this week can't kick off any better, in my opinion, with the annual Royal Rumble coming up. And what one is it, guys? This is the 26th annual Royal Rumble?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Royal Rumble actually has been one of my favorite pay-per-views since I've been a kid. I don't know what you guys think about that, but
yeah, it's the top 3.
It's up there. I mean, it's gotten weak over the years and watered down a lot more, but those original Royal Rumbles, when you go back and watch, they're priceless. You know, you can't beat them.
Yeah.
So, you know, in my opinion, the Royal Rumble always has a place in my heart. Excuse me. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is the big return of Dave Batista to the roster on WWE. I don't know how long he's actually going to be back for. It's saying he's going to be back till after Mania is what reports say in the dirt sheets, if you want to believe what they say. Do you guys have any insights on how long you think he's going to be back?
I think
Hold on a second. Who wants to go ahead on that? Matt, go ahead on that.
Oh,
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
I think he's going to be back until at least SummerSlam. He's got that new Marvel movie coming out over the summer, so
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Promote that.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, he'll have to be around. He'll probably be around to just promote that movie, I would say, wouldn't you? Or do you think he'd take time off to promote that movie? I don't know.
I think he might take off to promote it because I think it comes out right before SummerSlam. So
Yeah.
my guess is if he's around until SummerSlam, he probably put somebody over in that match, and then it's probably gone until next year about this time. That's my guess.
What do you think, Steven?
I think this is going to be a long run. I think, I don't think he's going to do the whole taker and come for a match and then, WrestleMania and then just leave. I think it's going to be a long run. I think it'll go through till next December, I would say. Yeah.
Well, just to note something, I did look it up, and he's 45 years old. I don't know how much longer he's going to actually go. Yeah, I looked it up. He's 45. He got into the game when he was 30 or something like that. So, I mean, he's 45 years old. He might not be 45 yet, but he's at least turning 45 or 45.
He looks 30.
I mean, he looks great for his age, but
Yes.
I don't know about the thing that really caught me off guard was just his clothes that he had on. I mean, I'm telling you what, people are going to be talking about his outfit now, I think, forever, because the tight jeans, and I don't know what they call them, tight pants. I don't wear them. I don't know about you guys, but you guys might wear them. You guys are a little younger age group than me, but the tight pants and the white thing that I don't even know what you call it had. He looked like Kanye West or something. What do you guys think of that? He should have took the jacket off right away, in my opinion.
They had me wondering why I actually like this guy. That's what I was wondering when he came out in that outfit.
I agree.
Why in the world am I excited for this?
Okay, guys. Well, I understand, because here's another thing. When he came out, did anybody even get out of their seat? Or I heard absolutely no reaction when the guy came out.
There wasn't much of a reaction.
I think it took him a minute to figure out who it was.
What, did they not tell people that he was coming out before the show or something, or what? Because that was the weakest comeback reaction I have ever heard. I don't think anybody knew Brock Lesnar was coming back, and he got one hell of a pop when he came out, but Batista's was silent.
Yeah, I agree.
You would think Scotty 2 Hotty came back again or something.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm just gonna go out there on a limb and say they're the next tag team coming back is Scotty 2 Hotty and Brian Christopher.
Oh, please let that happen.
Rikishi came.
Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you what,
On old school.
Scotty 2 Hotty looked like he was 35 out there.
Yes, Grandmaster Sexy looked pretty good too.
Brian Christopher was puffed up from what he used to
Yeah, he
be.
was.
I mean, he used to be ripped though. Now he's a little fat. You know, he's Lawler's. That's Lawler's son.
Yeah, what happened to Rikishi? He
He's
wears pants now?
inflated into bigger than what he's Yokozuna's size now instead of just his cousin.
Yeah, he always was fat.
He's always was fat, but now he's real fat.
Oh, he's alright.
I don't think he could have another. I don't think he could do a run because he's too fat. I'm not making fun of fat people or anything, but God, the guy's big. But I'm telling you what, Scotty 2 Hotty shocked me. We're getting off the subject on that one, though, guys. We could talk about those guys later. But as far as way they used Batista, I was disappointed in the first at the beginning, and I was the same way. Like, why do I even like this guy? Why was I excited to even watch this Raw? Were you guys feeling the same way?
Yeah, I was. I mean, he came out and had a really terrible promo.
Yeah, that terrible. I was bad.
It was bad, and I was like, I was hoping they would bring him back out again.
What do you think, Steven? What did you think of his initial when he came out?
My first reaction was, sweet, Batista. That's it. I didn't go, yes. I was just like, sweet, he's back.
I was just like, okay, all right, what's next? You know what I mean? Like, that was terrible. I was hoping right off the bat they would have done exactly what they did when they had him come out the second time and do the powerbomb on Del Rio. I thought they should have done that the first time.
And just lay somebody out.
And when did they stop caring about, like, they don't even care that they don't have a T-shirt to promote or anything? He's just gonna wear that white jacket. Like, at least every time Brock comes back, he's got a new T-shirt. You know, every time Austin comes back, he's got a shirt. Batista comes back with a freaking. They aren't selling any of those, I'm pretty sure. So.
Is he Italian now or what?
I don't know. And somebody commented that he tried to look like The Rock with the sunglasses and the bald head and everything, and I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I was watching it with my fiance, and that was the first thing that she said was that, oh, that looks like The Rock.
I mean, he's always been a Rock wannabe to me.
Yeah. If anything, that promo that he had when he first came out Monday was just more evidence that he is not The Rock.
No, he's not The Rock. He's not even Lesnar. Lesnar's terrible on promo skills, but I tell you what, he's better than Batista. Batista, though, and what's up with this, too? He never did drop down on the Batista bomb. You guys notice that? Just gave him a regular standard bomb. I guess he's getting too old and he ain't going to drop down now, or?
I guess not.
Anybody?
Maybe the tight jeans.
The jeans were so tight he couldn't drop down on the Batista bomb. That's what it was. Oh, my Lord. I don't even know. I think we should just move on from that one. Batista came back, and it was glory in all his tight pants glory. And I'm thinking it wasn't that great. That's my bottom line on that. What do you guys think? Final call on Batista's comeback.
I'd give it a 6 out of 10 as far as...
I mean, it's Batista, and he's better on the roster than everybody pretty much, other than like Orton and Cena and them guys. But I'm telling you, as far as bringing him back in and hyping him up and stuff, it was terrible.
Yeah, it was not...
He's supposed to be an animal, but he's coming out in tight pants and a tight jacket. And, like, I don't understand cutting the terrible promo. Don't even sound badass. Okay, so rolling on. And I know, Steven, we talked before this, and I mean, I was even the same way myself, because I wanted to bring this up myself, is how they never even promote what the card is of the match on the program. Does anybody even know what matches there was going to be on the Rumble? How about you, Matt?
I mean, they've had some, they've talked about some, like Shaw and Lesnar, but they really glossed over Daniel Bryan and Wyatt.
They don't even, I didn't even know they were having a match till today. till I looked it up.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, they don't even, like, in the old school days, they used to run down the whole card. They don't even run down the whole card and get you pumped up like, oh, this is going to be a cool card. It's just like, okay, what's going on the Rumble? You know, I know they're having the Rumble, but what else? I mean, I know there's other matches, but it's just like they didn't even care.
Right.
They do care, obviously, about Brock and Big Show because they think he's bringing in money. They care about Cena and Orton's feud because I guess they know Cena's bringing in money. But as far as the entire Rumble goes, I don't know what they're going to do about this. Okay, so I'm going to run off these matches, and I guess we can go one by one on the matches because, Steven, I know you were having trouble on knowing what even the matches were, which I was the same way. Well, first for the pre-show kickoff, which me and Matt were talking about this, I think, weren't we?
Yeah.
The New Age Outlaws are going for the titles against Cody and Goldust on the pre-show.
Why is that a pre-show? That should be like before like
That's
the
insane.
Rumble match.
That's insane to me.
Why would you even... I think Cody Rhodes and Goldust have been two of the most exciting guys on the roster up to the Rumble, in my opinion. And you're going to throw them on the pre-show with the belts against the New Age Outlaws, who people haven't even seen really wrestle a pay-per-view match for, I don't know, God knows how long.
10 years? 12 years?
At least.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't get that at all. But here's what I'm thinking is going to happen. In my bottom line, I think the Outlaws are going to win.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Most definitely.
You guys think the same thing?
I think so. Yeah.
Because it's going to coincide with the whole Authority storyline. Because you know they're with them, even though they haven't even acknowledged it yet for some reason.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you can get Batista teamed up with like Goldust and Cody Rhodes and them for, you know, possibly. Don't they usually do an Elimination Chamber or something?
Yeah,
Chambers next.
I wish they would really do an Elimination Chamber War Game style like they have talked about doing.
Yes.
Where you got two teams.
Yes. Bring the War Games.
Bring the whole War Games concept back, period, but that's for a whole nother show. But, I mean, that's one pay-per-view that WWE has missed out on is War Games.
Oh,
Absolutely.
That pay-per-view is awesome. Go back and watch any of they're all on. Anybody listening to this right now, you can watch all those matches on YouTube if you didn't already know. I mean, just go type in War Games and they'll all pop up. But as far as that's concerned, I think the Outlaws are going to take the belts. You guys agree?
Yeah. Shouldn't be a pre-show though.
Yeah, and I think this is where we start to see the seeds of dissension between Goldust and Cody. So
Yeah,
we get that.
it's gonna have. I think what they're wanting to do is have their match at WrestleMania finally.
Yeah, but I think that's when this starts.
Okay, that's a good prediction. I wasn't even thinking about that, but you're right. I think that very well could happen. This could be the start of the fall of the Brotherhood or whatever they want to call themselves.
Yep.
Dusty, I guess they just got mad at Dusty and he just don't even come on no more. They just think he...
after he got up into Sesame's face that night.
Yeah, he hasn't even came back since then.
They're mad at him.
He did something. So the next one I got is, which I thought probably would end up being, what should have been the pre-show match was probably Daniel Bryan and Wyatt, since they didn't even give it any build-up at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Other than the 2-week stint of him turning heel for no reason. I mean, I don't know what you guys think of him turning heel for that week or whatever, but it had to be one of the stupidest decisions they've ever made. And the whole reason they even changed it up is because I think they thought they made a stupid decision.
Did that last 5 minutes?
Say what?
Did that heel turn last 5 minutes?
The heel turn didn't last. Nobody's going to remember that. I don't even know what that was all about. I mean, they don't even really give you a actual... They say it's a heel turn, but I don't even know why actually. I don't even know what the feud's about, you know? Like,
I think they realized they messed up and they tried to get out of it as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think they just screwed up. And then I saw like Michigan State that night of that Raw where he came back and took the stuff off and everything and did the yes when they closed it out 2 weeks ago. I seen like Michigan State, their whole arena's doing the yes chant. I'm thinking they can't get rid of this gimmick. Yeah. That's
no.
And that night they changed it back, so I think that's the reason. I think they almost screwed up.
I think there's a story, but I think what happened was everybody's been talking about how they want Daniel Bryan to be. You know, Marks has been talking about Daniel Bryan should be Wyatt. I think WWE signed like, fine. All right, we'll have you join the Wyatts, and he'll be out real soon. We don't want that. I don't think WWE had any intention of wanting Daniel Bryan to join the Wyatts. I think they did it, and it was like, okay, done with it. Don't talk about it again. He's out. You know, I think it was more like that kind of sort of thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, and this match is just pretty much to get the whole thing over with and say that it's over with.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
But he does need to cut the beard and the hair.
It needs to go.
It's got to go. He looks like a Wyatt.
Yes.
What do you think, Matt, about that match?
They can't. You can't cut the beard. First of all, that can't happen.
Yeah, because they're too it's too popular now.
Yeah.
You can do the hair. You can cut the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can cut the hair, let him cut his hair, and let him go through his whole heel run that he did a couple years ago again.
He needs to get an attitude. He needs to get a little bit of a mean streak.
Yeah.
You can't keep him I really am sick of I've never been a fan of the yes chant.
Me either.
But it's so popular, I can see where WWE's coming from.
Oh, I love it.
You love the yes
I think
chant?
it's great.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's great.
It's got to be one of the top catchphrases of this decade.
It saved his career.
It saved his ass because he was going nowhere before the yes-no thing. He was going to where Caval ended up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right.
That's what
The fans started doing it ironically. That's the great part. Because the fans weren't doing that, to support him. They were doing it ironically at WrestleMania when he got knocked out in 18 seconds.
Why were they see, I never even knew the whole story of the yes chant.
Well, it started back in 2 years ago, I think, when he was the champ, and
I remember the whole.
Sheamus.
Yeah, I remember all that.
Sheamus knocked him out, and that was when he was doing the no, so they were saying yes, ironically.
Okay. I got you. I got you. I think I remember it now like that. All right, but so I'm claiming Daniel Bryan's winning that match and that feud's over because Bryan's so popular now, and they want him over with the fans. He's gonna win.
Yeah.
He could possibly have some help in that match. I don't know how, but yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. Weird. So on to the next match because I think we talked enough about them. It's two of the top two matches of the night other than the Rumble. And the first one is Brock and Big Show. And if anybody's been a fan, as long as at least us three have been fans long enough to remember, these guys already had a feud.
Yes, they did.
And it's like they don't even mention it.
Yeah, I mean, heck, they broke a ring.
They had a match over the title that they don't even mention. They want you to act like this is their first time meeting. And that's what I hate about WWE. They don't even want to touch on the history of anything that happened. They want you to think like you forget what happened like 5 years ago.
Why do they do that?
Well, I think Cole brought it up. I think Cole brought that match up where they broke the ring.
You remember when he punctured he did that, like, Brock speared him into the stairs and punctured his arm open real nasty.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. I mean, that was sick. And he wore a cast for a while after that. But Big Show actually defeated Brock for the title back then, and Heyman was his guy.
Oh, man.
And they don't even really play on that angle, which they could have really played up on that angle with those two. Of Big Show being an ex-Heyman guy. He even ran rampant over the ECW with Heyman. If you think about it now. Remember that?
Yeah.
And they don't even mention
it.
it.
He mentioned that this week, too, about how he was a Heyman guy before it was cool to be a Heyman guy.
Right. And he's true. But that match, though, it's a foregone conclusion. Brock's got it.
Yeah, he has to. I mean, you can't claim to be the number one contender and lose to the Big Show.
This is just a blow-off match to get him through this pay-per-view, and I don't really see the point of wasting this match with Big Show. He's only got so many appearances and pay-per-view appearances, and they're having this match with Big Show, which I don't get.
I don't get it either.
If that's the way his contract's set up, why would you have him have a feud with the Big Show? Just because there's no other guys?
Put him in a Rumble, don't put him on the card.
Yeah, put him in the Rumble. I would never have had a match with the Big Show.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I said, the feud's old. For one thing, it's been done. Which is, I'm all for having feuds again, but if you're not going to mention it, you know. At least in the Triple H and Orton feud that they had, they mentioned all the history they had.
Yeah.
When they had their second feud. They mentioned the Mania when he kicked his wife's head and everything. You know what I mean? Went back in his Viper days.
Yeah.
So they didn't do that with the Brock and Big Show. I don't know why. But that's my prediction on that is Brock's got it, obviously.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
So I'm agreeing we can all move on from that match too. I ain't got much to say about Brock. I mean, he had that little fit that he threw on Raw. Okay.
That was the winner of the match right there.
What do you mean?
I just loved him throwing the fit. That won it for me right there.
Yeah, I did like the whole segment they did with Brock and Big Show was a good segment on Raw, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, he got out Mark Henry, and I think that just kind of gives it.
I think that they did great. They did great this time with Brock. I just don't. I wish it was a different opponent than Big Show.
Yeah, and does anybody want to watch Big Show?
Who else do you use?
You can't really use anybody. But they didn't really go into a feud with him and Mark Henry, which they could have had a good match.
True.
At least Mark Henry still has knees, you know.
That's true.
Big Show's starting to look like Khali walking down the ring. I mean, in my opinion, he's looking like Khali. So they might as well just tag them guys up and call it a freak show. But anyway, to move on to the next match, which probably is going to be the main event match, is Orton and Cena.
You think this goes on after the Rumble?
I think that's going to probably end it after the Rumble. They've been doing that lately.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm thinking it's going to be Orton winning the belt because they've already had I've already heard the reports that Batista's going to take on Orton at Mania for the belt, so I'm picking Orton over Cena. But you never know. They could throw a curveball. I mean, that's a toss-up right there. I don't know who's going to come out with the belt. It'll be interesting to see. You'll know what they're going to do with Batista because just to throw my other prediction, I know Batista's probably going to win the Rumble. So you'll know what they're going to do with Batista by who wins the match between Cena and Orton. Do you guys agree?
I agree. I'd take Orton.
You're going to take Orton all the way?
Yeah, his title run's been pretty stale, though. You got to admit.
Yeah, he's not a great champion. He's not. He don't have any charisma. He's not a Rock. He's not a Stone Cold.
No, but I think that, and then plus the way they book him, like he's done nothing. It's just been, like I just said, stale. It's just like, he's a champion. Sweet.
Yeah, and they really need to toss the two belts and just make one belt.
Yeah, like Chris Jericho, when he did unified the title, undisputed champion, it was exciting. And even the way he walked down the ramp, it was like, I'm the best. Randy Orton doesn't do that. He doesn't.
Yeah, well, that's when the two belts meant something too. When you had the WCW belt, but
exactly.
Who cares about the World Heavyweight title? Like I haven't cared about it for probably 2-3 years.
Since Undertaker had it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't cared about it since they kind of just mixed it in. It became almost like it was the Intercontinental title.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and they had to do something with it. They couldn't have carried that on forever. It's because it was meant to be made just to split the two shows, when they did the brand split. But now that they went back to all one entity and not like two brands, they only need one belt,
One belt.
Right. And SmackDown's ratings have went down the tube because of it too. So I don't know what they're going to do. They might as well just get rid of... I don't know if you really want to get rid of SmackDown because of the history of SmackDown, but they almost need to make a new concept with it or something.
They should have kept WCW.
Yeah. Well, If you want to take ROH and TNA as competition, they do have competition.
Yeah, I'd even put ROH.
Do you really need to make another small corporation to face when you got two others that are out there already? Just let them live by the skin of their teeth, and pick their guys whenever you can.
Yeah, competition's good.
Because AJ, I'm guaranteeing AJ's coming.
Yeah.
It's overdue anyway, in my opinion. A lot of those guys should come over. That's a whole nother story, though. We'll get on TNA,
Well, AJ Styles is debuting in ROH.
3 weeks it said, or 2 weeks it said, this Saturday, right? Yeah, I watched ROH. I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
No BS with ROH. If you want some old school ECW kind of flavor, they got more of it than it's not ECW by far, but they got that old school flavor going for them. I like ROH. What about you, Matt? You watch it?
Yeah, I like ROH. I'm a big fan of the Briscoes.
I like the Briscoes. I like that they got Chris Hero back, though. They're using him good, too. Adam Cole's good, too. Fat Hardy, though's got to go.
Fat Hardy and his belly's got to go.
The only way to save Fat Hardy is if Jeff comes in and tags with him. It's the only way.
Yeah, what is Jeff Hardy doing?
Well, I don't know if it's a work, but he supposedly quit.
Well, it is TNA.
All right, I'm going to check. So what do we got for time here? 5 more minutes? All right, we're down to 5 minutes left on the program. We're trying to keep the program within 30 minutes, right? And we've almost nailed it, guys. I mean, who are you predicting for Batista's win before we move on? Or, I mean, for the Royal Rumble win, I picked Batista. Who are you picking to win the Rumble?
I'm not going on. I think WWE's been doing a pretty good job of catching on to people, everybody's predicting Batista, so...
That's what I'm thinking, too, but I'm still going with Batista, just because next week I'm going to say, see, I told you he was going to win.
I think it's Punk.
Who is that?
What do you think, Matt?
I think it's Punk.
You think it's going to be Punk? He's coming in number 1.
I think it's Punk.
Did you see his number 1?
I think it's Punk.
Number 1 entrant they're claiming for Punk, too, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just got this gut feeling.
It's going to be Punk or Batista, but I'm saying it's going to be Batista, and they're going to go with the plan of him and Orton at Mania. That's my bottom line right there. I think it's going to come down to Punk and Batista as the final 2, though. So lock that right now. It's recorded. I'm saying Punk.
I've seen, from what I've read, they've announced 25 people for the Rumble.
Is
so
Sheamus in it?
5 spots.
Sheamus going to return.
Sheamus, and then you've got 4 other spots that you can put people in.
I heard Shelton Benjamin's returning.
Shelton Benjamin?
That's been a rumor.
I like it.
You know Jake the Snake's going to make an appearance. I'm guaranteeing it.
Well, Evan Bourne's sitting around doing
Evan
that.
Bourne, I heard him. I heard him too. And also, who else? Oh yeah, and then you got Rob Van Dam returning at the Rumble.
RVD,
They didn't. Did they put him on the list?
No.
And him and Jericho. So there we go, right there. Because Jericho's part of that too. That they've let out already, I think, on accident. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, those are the 5 missing right there, in my opinion. It's gonna be Benjamin, Evan Bourne, Jake the Snake, and those 2.
Wow. I'm gonna take Bray Wyatt.
Taking Bray Wyatt, although he ain't even in the Rumble though, because he's gonna have a match unless they put him in there.
That is right, but there was also talk of him doing something for, not main event, but WrestleMania. So that's why I was like, man, I'm gonna go on a limb. But yeah, you are right. He's already having a match, so.
I could see Dean Ambrose or somebody like that pulling it out.
You know what? I'm gonna take Roman Reigns.
You gonna take Reigns?
I got Roman
That's a good
Reigns.
one.
Okay, we all know Batista's gonna win it, so just for fun, you're taking Punk. Shadis, you're taking Punk, right?
I'm going to take Punk.
Okay, and you're gonna take who, Steven, besides Batista?
Roman Reigns steals it.
I'm taking Dean Ambrose besides Batista.
It'll be
Just
all right.
because he's had that U.S. title for so long and he never defends it.
And
Who are you
he's
going to put in the main event with Ambrose? At WrestleMania? WrestleMania.
You're right.
The
You know.
biggest WrestleMania of all time.
Are you gonna put Reigns in there?
Why not?
Why put Reigns? Ambrose is just as good, is awesome on the stick. So I disagree. I say Ambrose and Reigns are right on it. I think Ambrose is better than Reigns. We can argue.
I'd like to see a Punk Triple H at WrestleMania.
Punk and Ambrose would be a dope match in my opinion. So I don't know. They have not let him really shine on his own. Really, I mean, like I said, they never let him defend that belt.
That's true. That is true.
Okay, and another thing, they really need to unify the U.S. and the IC. I just want to say that.
That's what I was about to say. That's what the rumors about.
I've heard it, and it's got to happen. It's got to happen at Mania. I'd say at Mania do a unification match, and the winner is the IC champion. Unify the U.S. into the IC, because make it just like it used to be in the old days, the world and the IC.
Yep.
All right. So that's that for Royal Rumble, and for the last thing that I wanted to do, and I'm going to go through it real quick because it isn't going to take long for us to do this, but I just wanted to make my predictions of if they even induct anybody else into the Royal Rumble into the Hall of Fame, because they didn't even announce anybody last night. They've already put the Warrior in there, which was not a shocker to me since they signed him on that 2K14 deal.
Yeah. Right.
But the other guys that I'd like to see him put in there, and this is just for fun, I'd like to see Macho Man. And if you guys got any of these, you guys got Macho Man? Okay.
Absolutely.
I'd like to see Owen Hart in there.
He's got a main event, though.
I'd like to see Owen in there. You know, actually, I was thinking about this, and I wrote it down. Why can't they induct Owen, Pillman, the whole Hart Foundation?
Yeah. Owen's going to have to headline it, though.
That would give Brett another ring.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Jake the Snake put in there.
He's on my list.
I can't believe he's not already in there and Coco Beware is. I mean, that just tells you how stupid the whole thing.
Coco Beware's Bird made it in there before him.
Yeah, I can't believe that. And
I've got Paul Bearer.
You got Paul Bearer would be a good one too.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna do Paul Bearer, you almost need to do that when Taker goes in.
Yeah, I agree.
And put Kane in the same year.
But on the Owen Hart, he has to be the headliner.
Yeah, but you could put him in with the Hart Foundation.
Yeah. And, speaking of, non-headliners, Big Boss Man.
Yeah, Big Boss Man deserves it, in my opinion. He never did win a belt.
And he's not a headliner, so it's perfect. Why isn't he in there?
I don't know. You know, it's just like Jake the Snake. He didn't ever need a belt. Big Boss Man didn't need a belt. They got over just being themselves. Another team, a tag team that I think deserves it that's not in there is the Demolition.
The Demolition.
If you were if you were my age, you probably guys don't remember Demolition that good, but I mean they were just as popular as Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
And they kind of just wiped them to the side when Legion of Doom came in, but they deserved to be in there, man. They won the tag straps at least twice that I know of.
Yeah. Now, they were the ones that came off motorcycles, right?
No, that was Legion of Doom.
That was Legion of Doom. Oh, that's right.
I'm talking about Demolition with Axe Smash.
Axe and Smash.
And Crush
God.
was the third member.
Yeah.
They deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anybody who held a belt deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. Why isn't Ravishing Rick Rude in there?
Yeah, he's on my list too.
Okay, so anybody I didn't mention that anybody would like to see in there?
Honky Tonk Man.
Honky Tonk deserves it. Goldberg. You could put him in there because they put Warrior in there, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
But does he really deserve it?
No, he doesn't, but they will because Coco Beware is in there.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not a legit, but if they want to make it legit at all, they would take Coco out of it, but that's not happening, so.
Hogan needs to headline it soon because they're on good terms now.
You know, Coco was over, though. People give him a hard time, but he was over. Yeah, he was over during the rock and wrestling era at the late 80s. Not maybe not when High Energy came around, but.
Yeah, I mean no comment on that one.
All right. Anybody else you guys like to see?
What about Lita?
Yeah, it's been a while since they put a girl in. Did they put Trish Stratus in?
Trish went in last year, I heard.
Trish went in last year. I could see him throwing Lita in there then.
Yeah. You don't think Jackal's getting in?
Who?
Jackal.
The Jackal.
Jacqueline or whatever her name was.
Oh, Jacqueline? Hell no, she won't make it. And it's not because of her color. It's not because of her color. It's just a hell no, she ain't going to make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
My last pick, I think the Truth Commission should go in. I'm joking.
Wow.
The Oddities should go in.
All right, I'm going to make a bold prediction before this goes off real quick.
Okay, what's your prediction?
My super surprise entrant of the Royal Rumble will be Sting.
Sting coming in the Rumble. Okay, we're going to hold you to that on that prediction.
What was that?
He says his super prediction for before we go off air that Sting's going to be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble.
Wow, that would be incredible.
It would be It really would be incredible. You know who my surprise entrant is? Undertaker. And that's my final thought.
I'll go AJ Styles.
AJ Styles would be good too. All right, well, you know what? That concludes the program, guys. I think we went long enough. That's the debut episode of the debut episode of the weekly Pro Wrestling Rush. I'm Jeff Jaros, along with Stephen Lane and Matt Shadis. And we want to thank everybody for listening, and you can comment. Also, I have an email address. It's, what's the email? WrestlingFanBuzz at what? Gmail.com. Sorry, I wasn't too prepared on the ending here, on the outro. So, anything Steven and Matt want to say before we go off? I'm going to say peace to everybody out there, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep, see you guys.